Hello everyone, I have the honor today to present to you some initial findings of our EU-funded research in southern Malawi, titled Assessing the Institutional Environment for Inclusive Livestock Value Chains in Malawi. This research is motivated by the great potential of animal-sourced foods to tackle development challenges in Malawi, especially with respect to poverty reduction, improving nutrition outcomes, and reducing food insecurity. The National Agriculture Investment Plan recognizes the high potential of the dairy sector, yet poultry and goats, despite its significant contributions to livelihoods and food security, are only attributed minor significance. Our research here concerns sector-specific political economy analyses for the three value chains to uncover the various policy interests and power dynamics along these value chains. This approach is embedded within an understanding that attempts and interventions for poverty reduction and nutrition improvements will remain ineffective when power politics and elite interests are opposing these efforts. The key research question of this research is, to what extent do public policies and practices enable or hinder the sustainable development of smallholder-based livestock value chains? We follow a two-step approach by first mapping and analyzing the three value chains from a policy perspective, and second by conducting policy analyses. The analysis rests on various research methods, some of which have unfortunately been impacted by COVID-19. We used innovation platforms, policy dialogues, a policy review, and key informant interviews. The initial findings of our research show that the type of value chain governance highly correlates with the level of regulation of the sector. The dairy value chain can be characterized by a captive governance structure, whereby smallholder dairy producers are in a captive relationship with bulking groups and processing companies, having little power to exert influence on price and marketing. At the same time, the sector is highly regulated, being the only one with its own act on regulating, amongst others, milk quality and marketing arrangements. Both the poultry and goat value chains are dominated by spot market arrangements with very little horizontal governance. Very few poultry farmers are organized, whereas to our knowledge, no producer organizations exist for goat producers. Simultaneously, both value chains are sparsely regulated, having neither separate acts nor policies, but are rather integrated in the general livestock policies. A review of the policies and regulations in combination with key stakeholder interviews revealed that policies and regulations are generally not conducted in consultation with stakeholders, most notably smallholders. This is mainly due to the fact that there's little horizontal governance at the point of production, resulting in very limited influence of smallholders in the policy process. As a result, policies and regulations in the three livestock value chains generally do not address the concerns of smallholders. Most notably, key informants strongly highlighted the lack of policy support for improved marketing and producer prices. In the dairy industry, the Milk and Milk Products Act crucially limits the sale of raw milk by producers to the informal market due to quality considerations, despite high demand for milk and its importance to potentially reduce malnutrition. In addition, prices of raw milk paid by processors remain low, and according to producer representatives, prices are below farmers' profitability. The poultry sector, despite increasing demand for eggs and local meat, receives little support for marketing, widening the gap between industrial poultry producers and smallholders. In the goat value chain, policies have largely focused on increasing production rather than low productivity of meat, and little support is given to quality differentiation. Overall, public expenditures going to the livestock sector are far behind crops such as maize, the food security crop, and tobacco, the most important cash crop. A policy review by FAO finds that between 2006 and 2013, only 1.2% of agriculture-specific public expenditures are allocated to livestock, compared to 71% for maize. Support to marketing and inspections at the farm level are minor. Also, a recent DFID study finds that fewer extension offices are available to livestock farmers compared to crop farmers. Large policy implementation gaps remain. Policies are usually designed at the national level with little to no consultation with lower-level governments, whilst policies are implemented at the district level. Often, issues of ownership and contrasting priorities between district and national levels arise. In addition, quality issues in all three value chains remain critical. Price premiums generally are not accessible to smallholders, whilst quality control and enforcement at the point of production by the Malawi Bureau of Standards is minimal. Three key policy implications can be drawn from our research. First, it is clear that the livestock sectors should be key priority for agricultural development due to their contributions to poverty reduction, nutrition, and food security. Updating of existing policies in coordination with key stakeholders is critical to ensure their relevance, particularly to smallholders. In addition, as also recommended by other organizations, separate development policies and strategies are necessary to respond to specific needs of various value chain actors. Second, value chain actors, particularly small producers, need to become part of the policy process, which requires horizontal governance structures, such as the organization of producers into interest groups. Third, policies to diversify and develop alternative marketing channels are necessary to support smallholders vis-à-vis emerging industrial competition. Specifically, support is needed in developing critical value chain infrastructure, such as marketplaces and abattoirs, as for poultry and goats. Also, price premiums for higher quality products are important to drive quality and productivity increases, for instance, through goat auctions. Finally, improved quality control by MBS, the Malawi Bureau of Standards, is necessary to increase consumer confidence and hence demand in livestock products. From this research, we can demonstrate that different agri-nutrition pathways arise depending on the specific livestock sector, examining the strong income nutrition trade-offs. In the dairy sector, the income pathway to improve nutrition has the highest potential as local value addition may become available and feed costs are reduced. However, the nutrition linkage from increased income is ambiguous as prices of dairy remain high and dairy products currently demonstrate only limited availability and accessibility in rural areas. In the poultry sector, improving nutrition through food access from own production is the most likely. Income effects may become stronger due to high and increasing demand for indigenous poultry. Poultry has the highest potential to improve nutrition as it's the cheapest animal protein. However, chicken remain to some extent an emergency asset and are only sold and or consumed when high levels of food insecurity are experienced. Finally, the goat sector, similar to poultry, may contribute to improving nutrition through generating food access from own production. Demand for goat's meat is increasing and prices are currently higher than beef. However, even more so than chicken, goats are a critical emergency asset and are not consumed by households on a regular basis. Hence, further research is needed to examine to what extent increasing incomes and increased food access from own production are able to contribute to improved nutrition. Thank you very much.